well met. Welcome to episode 7 of this season of Greymantle. Things are heating up. People are dying. It's a big old time. You may have noticed that we only have some of the cast here today. Amanda is very sick, but we're going to have her back in her own separate little episode because the party is split. Always a good idea. I am Eric Scott DB. I am the GM of this particular season of Greymantle. In a forthcoming season of Greymantle, Allie will be taking up the GMing role, so that's going to be interesting. But for the moment, they're all in my hands and dealing with this terrible plague that is threatening Nightside. I am an author, game designer, and Twitch streamer, and I wanted to give a shout out to the Dungeon Scrawlers Discord channel, where we have good conversations about games and other things, and our meme game is pretty on point, and it's a good time. Wholesome sort of community. Come join us if you haven't already. Take it away, Allie.
Hi everybody, I am Alexandra Pitchford, or Allie for short. I am a game designer, writer, TTRPG streamer, and I play the Silver Sparrow, or Sparrow, to her friends, that bitch to her enemies, and who to everyone else. I would like to tell you about one of our sponsors today. We're sponsored by Idle Champions of the Forgotten Realms, which is a strategy game that unites iconic Dungeons & Dragons characters from novels, campaigns, and popular shows into one epic adventure, including Farida, Havilar, and Mahen from the Brimstone Angels novels, and so many more interesting characters. Like, if you want to play with the cast from Baldur's Gate 3, they're in there now. The game is available for PC and Mac on Steam and Web, Epic Game Store, Google Play, Xbox One, PlayStation 4, Nintendo Switch, iPad, iPhone, and on all Android devices. For more information, check out idlechampions.com.
Who's next?
I can go next. So hello, my name is Jen. I play Oriana Devereaux, the Vainglory, who is the tiefling warlock, little mob princess, who is infected by the deadly plague currently and having a bit of an existential crisis about it, but that's fine, I'm sure. I also run Savage Sparrow Studios. It is an amazing nerdy accessory and apparel company. Basically, yeah, you can follow me on the internet. SavageSparrow.com is my website. Savage Sparrow on various socials or some form of that thereof. And Patreon.com/Savage Sparrow for following my artwork and process stuff. Forda, go ahead.
Hi, I'm Forda. I also go by Lex. I can be found on the internet in a lot of places, mostly Fordaver, Fortver, with and without the dash in between, except where I'm LexArts, like my Patreon, where I am releasing royalty-free art packs. So, go take a look at that. It's $5 if you want to have the full tier, and then you can buy each pack individually.
Nice. I wanted to mention we also have another sponsor, actually two of them, which are both dice sponsors. Norse Foundry, which specializes in making metal dice, which feel like strong weapons with which to crush the armor of the monster horde, and Phoenix Dice, which use all recycled materials, named after the bird of myth that rises from the ashes to be reused and reburned and reused yet again, just like the dice. And you can find deals to both of those down in the doobly-doo below. Or if you come on our Discord, we talk about that all the time as well. So come to the Discord. Anyway, Greymantle, here we go. So it is day 4 of the zombie plague on Nightside, and you have cut some sort of bargain, or at least you're in the process of making a deal with the mercantile power in Nightside, being the Soldrov clan, or Soldrova if you're talking about the heiress to the clan. They have agreed to protect you for the night, so you have spent a fairly restful night, sleeping like the dead after your exertions, and you have awakened late the following day to silence. Normally, the bells would be ringing to indicate the hours of the day as time passes, but instead, no bell awakened you at dawn. Instead, the sun is high as it ever gets in Nightside. When
Not
you,
very high at all.
which is not really very high, but
Yeah,
that
and
means that it's about the brightest it will ever be, which is the equivalent of noon.
Mhm.
By the
Equivalent of
time that
noon,
you
really?
wake and get moving, yeah.
Question for Allie. Does Ori wake up alone?
I would say not tonight.
Okay, cool.
I want
Okay.
to clarify. Are you saying it's like noon normal noon or like noon for Nightside, which is like
Noon for
dark as-
Nightside.
dark
The
as
weather
hell.
hasn't the weather hasn't changed, but like in the process of the 24-hour day span, this is about the middle of the day that most people are
Okay.
active,
Okay.
which
Okay.
I will
Okay.
refer to as noon.
That would be terrifying. Just wake up and
All of Nightside is melting all around you. Yeah. Anyway, so it's unusual. You know, you feel like you've overslept and you feel groggy, and the atmosphere of the last few days has been oppressive. And you've gotten tired easily, you've gotten really hungry easily, gotten really thirsty easily. Fortunately, the Soldrov family seems to have lots of food, and they are taking care of your every need. None of you are hungry. You're all at hunger level 0.
Okay.
Nice.
Do I need to make any checks for the disease?
Okay, so Sparrow and Ori are both still a little bit afraid. So why don't you make wisdom saving throws? And Oriana, I also need you, to make a Constitution saving throw.
I got a 19 for wisdom.
Okay.
Okay.
Ooh, and a 20 for con.
This is gonna be
Okay.
fun. I got a 10.
All right. So Ori, you wake up remarkably better.
Oh.
Like,
Oh.
you feel as though perhaps the disease is abated.
Huh.
maybe the worst of it's behind you.
Yeah, I feel like she kind of like wakes up and just sort of like feels her chest for a second, and that like, wait, I can breathe. Like there's not a weight. And kind of like looks over at Sparrow and like sort of gently like puts her hand on hers and is like, I think I feel better.
All right. How am I doing? For reference, with my 10.
Well, your 10 was the wisdom save. You're still
Yes.
feeling unsettled.
Okay.
Ori, you seem to have reduced your fear as well. Everything seems hopeful to you, finally.
Wow.
Sparrow,
Just
make
a regular level of cynicism then.
That's right.
Awesome.
Sparrow, make a Constitution saving throw, please.
Okay. Now, does my inherent necrotic resistance give me any kind of resistance to this?
Maybe. Go ahead and make
Great.
a save.
Well, that's a 13.
Okay. Yeah, you don't feel sick.
Okay. Well, I'm glad you seem to be feeling better.
Yeah, I mean, I hope so. I like, I mean, you know, it's still early, obviously. So I don't want to get hopeful, but I mean, I don't know, part of me wants to. 'Cause I do feel like myself again, kind of.
Good. I think if there's anything that I certainly could hope for out of all of this mess, is that you make it through okay.
I mean, I would like both of us to make it through.
Well, certainly.
Yeah.
I thought that went without saying.
uh, so
you're having this nice kind of peaceful moment. Kind of hope has come back to your lives, and you hear a crash of breaking crockery down in the dining hall, which is just outside of your guest room.
Sparrow's got a knife. Like immediately, there's a knife in her hand. Like,
yeah, I feel like Ori just kind of like eases it down and just simply goes, "Hear me out. Could let that be someone else's problem and just spend another 10 minutes in bed."
At least until it comes crashing through the door. If it comes crashing through the door. I'm saying yes.
Yeah. Okay.
Okay.
Sheets.
All right. So the door flies open abruptly, and Isadora is standing there, and she says, "Oh, you should come." Oh. And she mostly closes the door again. She says, "Sorry, I didn't mean to interrupt. Our hosts are having a thing. You should come quickly when you can. Sorry." She closes the door.
Do you want me to finish?
Seems. Well, it was going to be a good morning. We should probably see what that's about.
It must be serious then. Very well.
I know.
Okay. So, when last we left, Lex was not at the last session, and in fact, Sounder had been called away to help with some business. So, Sounder, I'm going to give you some information about the city that has been going down. You awaken as well in your home, which I seem to believe was like an apartment near where you worked, or maybe like in the same building.
Yeah, more or less.
And you're tired because you've been working and trying to keep going despite the gloomy atmosphere that seems to be sapping strength and vitality out of you. I'm going to need you to make Constitution saving throw and a Wisdom saving throw, please.
Right. There they are. I can read, I promise. When you're not doing the thing. Okay, what's going on here?
So you are somewhat hungry. You ate normally, but
Oh, did it roll?
I don't know. I'm not looking at it. Just tell me the result, please.
I'm having trouble with it. It's not.
Okay.
You know what? Give me a sec. I have my sheet up and I have dice.
Yeah, you can roll physical dice. That's fine. I'll take your word for it.
I like physical dice.
Yeah. So some hunger has crept into you. You wake up hungry. You've been eating normally, but normally isn't really cutting it these last couple of days.
18 for wisdom.
Okay. You managed to keep it together. That's good.
And 16 for Constitution.
Okay, and you feel relatively healthy. you don't seem to be having any symptoms of the plague. You awaken to loud cries and lamenting in the streets.
That's always a good
And-
sign.
Yeah, you hear a town crier of some kind, because it seems that is typically how news gets passed around when all of the broadsheets are out of business. Saying, "The wrath of devils is upon us. The wrath of the devil." And you eventually come to understand that there has been some horrific event that happened in the cathedral, the Infernal Bastion, and everyone inside who took shelter from the plague inside the cathedral is dead.
Oh.
Oh,
Hundreds of people.
Great.
man.
Math goes on.
I almost wish it almost makes me miss when the town crier just shouted about keeping things PG-13. Dude has had a rough couple of years.
Yeah, he's gonna take the jobs he can get, you know. Anyway, you receive a note from the Soldrov estate. You, being a worker here in Nightside, you know all about them. You've probably never met them personally, but you know
Probably
who they
run
are.
a few jobs for their maybe tier or two down from them.
Yeah, Soldrov is kind of a merchant king in the city. He's made a pretty big name for himself in the last few years too, and he seems to be holding everything kind of in control as the plague ravages Nightside. Like the folk in the Hive, which is this kind of like big bunker house where most of the workers in the city live, that's owned by the Soldrovs, have been locked in there ostensibly to keep them from getting the plague. And Soldrov
Good,
keeps
sensible.
presenting a front of everything being under control, despite the plague happening. And you receive this message that summons you to the manor house. Specifically, your friends are there. Sparrow, Oriana, and Anji. And Isadora. You don't know who that is.
Oh no,
you've
we
never
met.
heard.
We met.
Oh, okay. You do know
I
who
had a
Isadora
very-
is.
Heated, brief exchange about stop giving children unmarked drugs.
Yeah, there you go. So apparently Isadora is now part of the team, according to Soldrov. Anyway, yeah, and he it is summoning you there because they have a job for you.
Work.
You gonna make your way over?
At this stage, how is the boss and the carriage business doing? In the sense of, are they alive?
The boss is coughing pretty heavily and has forbid you from attending to him because he thinks he's infected with the plague and doesn't want to get you sick.
That's
His
not
goal is to just tough it out. That's his plan.
Great. We'll see how that works out for him.
Your chunky horse is fine. Plague doesn't seem to
Yay.
affect animals.
That's the best news I've heard all week.
Although there are zombies wandering the streets, and they do attack animals if a horse comes near them.
No, we must
But
protect
they're
I'm
the
not gonna
horses.
boy.
bother with the carriage. I'm just gonna take him, and we are going to go full speed. There is no stopping. A big horse like that, I'm pretty sure is pretty good at trampling whatever's in its way.
Okay. So you're gonna just go with speed, not trying to be stealthy. Just
No.
all right.
Seems my
Well-
best bet might be getting there quickly because they'll definitely have stables.
Okay, so you take the horse and cart out of
No,
the
just the
of the
horse.
stables.
No
Just
cart.
the horse. Okay. So you're just riding the horse.
Mm-hmm. we're not going to worry about slowing down or being
Fair enough.
sensible in that way. Just
Fair enough. As soon as you hit the street, there are people in like these shabby, ragged cloaks that look over at you hungrily and start kind of like creeping their way over toward you, which you're not concerned about because the horse is going to be much faster than any slow-moving zombies, right?
I don't know about that, but we're going to find out.
And then all of a sudden, a bottle with a flaming fuse on the end of it
Of course.
comes streaking out and smashes into one of the cloaked figures, who starts shrieking in agony. And you see that there's another group of folk carrying these Molotov cocktails, as it were, going down the road
Soldrov
and
cocktails.
attack. Yeah, Soldrov cocktails. There you go. Attacking the zombies.
All right. I will. I'm still planning to get as far away as possible, but I'll contribute I'll contribute a magic missile to the zombie fight on my way out. Nice little parting shot.
Cool. Okay. Pew, 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 pew. All right, you fire some magic missiles into the pack of zombies.
I don't know if that rolled, but let's see if it'll do
Neighborhood's
it.
really going downhill.
Here we go.
Going to
That is
heck.
4.
Wait, no, we're in Nightside.
Three.
It's going to heaven.
And 2. Right? It's only 3 magic missiles for a first level.
3 magic missiles.
Yep.
Yeah. So 4, 3, and 2.
Okay,
That's funny.
that's pretty good. All right, so yeah, that causes some damage to one of the zombies, and then the your use of magic prompts some interest from the flamethrowers, as it were, and one of them says, "Hey, that could be one of those carriers. Look, she's a witch. Get her!" And they turn their attention on
Oh,
you.
you! Kicks the horse behind here.
All right. So you take off, and since you're on a horse and you have a significantly higher movement than they do, plus there are some zombies that are coming toward them, you manage to get away. But one of them takes a shot at you. Remember that there are guns in Nightside.
Ooh, oh,
Not a lot
yeah.
of people use them, but these people
Yep.
seem to have rifles.
Guns in Greymantle, it's a thing.
So that means they either stole them or there's somebody important.
Yeah, one of them does indeed. It's an AC of 21. Does that hit you?
My AC is like 10. I didn't have time to do a
Okay.
mage armor.
Okay. The bullet whizzes past and smashes into your shoulder as you're riding away. Deals you 7 points of piercing damage.
Ooh.
Ouch.
And I got shot in the shoulder.
Okay, so I have an AC of 12 actually, but still, that's
Okay.
not gonna save me.
And well, I mean, they didn't shoot the horse out from under you, I suppose, so it's not so
That's
bad.
the important part. I'm
All
sorry,
right, you
how
do
much
manage to
damage
get
did you
away. 7.
say? Okay.
You do manage to get away, but you now you got shot in the shoulder.
Yeah.
Okay. Yeah, you make your way down, and the city is in crisis. Buildings are ransacked, glass windows are shattered, and plastered over with boards. There's fire all over the place, bodies lying in the streets. Everything feels hazy and smoky. And I'm going to need you to make another wisdom saving throw, please.
Does okay. That is not great. That is a 10 total.
All right. Yeah, your experience going through the streets has left you afraid and rattled. Okay. But you do manage to get to the manor house. There are guards who point rifles at you from behind a gate. A fenced gate. And they say, "State your business."
Answering a summons.
Bad shoulder. Answering a summons. Yeah. Okay. You show them the invitation and they let you through. They are both wearing plague masks, and they keep a wide berth from you.
That's nice. All three of us in plague masks. It's fine.
Yeah. Okay. So, you arrive about the same time that this fight is happening in the mess room, and so about the same time that Sparrow and Ori show up. So, in the banquet hall, the patriarch of the Soldrov family, which is to say Vlad Soldrov, and his younger daughter, Vlaru Soldrova, are having an argument. She's saying something about, "I can't believe you would endanger all of those workers. This is terrible." And he's like, No. Hive is clean. Absolutely clean. Not the single pest in the hive. And she says, "But how do you know that? None of us have gone in there. Nobody knows that for sure." And he says, No, absolutely clean. Has been locked down since before plague. No way any plague inside Hive.
Why was
And he was getting so upset he threw and shattered a plate because she just wouldn't accept it. Meanwhile, Vlana Soldrova, his heiress, is sitting there and she's just casually just eating her breakfast, just like, "Yep, this is the thing."
If I might interject, why was
They
the hive?
both look over at you.
Why was the hive locked down before the plague?
Not important, Vlad says. Worker uprising happens periodically.
Huh.
Workers try to form what do they call it? What do they call it? Vlaru says a union. Vlad says, yes, you do not speak that word. It's a dirty word in this house.
Well,
So you locked them all in the mine?
It's not mine. It's a building above ground and below ground. They have plenty of food and lots to think about. Good luck. For when plague happens, they lock down. No way plague get in there.
are you sure? Have you checked?
Absolutely sure. There is no way pestilence get inside when no one else get inside.
Yes,
Well-
but other things than people carry pestilence.
Yeah, and
What?
the plague itself doesn't, like, the creatures that have been, it doesn't seem to be corporeal is what I'm saying.
Hey GM, quick question.
Yeah.
Does the hive sit anywhere near the route the Doom train takes or took the day of the fated event?
It kind of does, actually.
Ah.
The hive is just inside the old ruined city, which is what the Doom train goes through. And
Ooh.
yeah,
Great.
Wait, actually,
That's
I'm gonna
fine.
drink from this one, I think, because
That's fine. This is fine.
Vlad says, "You should be looking for carrier, demon, wandering streets. I am sure this carrier is source of plague. And no one at Hive, no one get into Hive. Demon wouldn't get in, wouldn't get out of Hive. If the demon was in the Hive, we wouldn't have plague outside the Hive. It is simple when you just think about it." Flowery says, "But you haven't checked." She's looking to Sparrow like, "You get it, right?"
Yes, I do get it. Yeah, it would be important to check. You wouldn't want all of this to blow over, only for you to find out you have no workers left.
Blana says, "Indeed, father. Maybe you should consider sending this small band of heroes
Well, what?
to investigate."
Don't use that word. That's a dirty word. We don't use that word.
Vlad says, "Yes, heroes. Ah, yes. You are bold heroes. You ensure that Hive is clean and safe, yes?
Who
Reassure
also
my little daughter here.
who also work for on a contract.
Yes,
Ah, yes, matter of coin,
contractor.
Vlad says. You are independent contractors. You
Correct.
do not
That's much
derive
better
health
descriptor.
benefits from Soldrov estate, but you derive coin. So I pay you reward. How much you think fair for this task?
Sparrow will just kind of share a look with the other two. Well, it's a considerable risk to life and limb. If,
Mhm.
One,
Steady
200
supply of food for
script?
a start.
or you
Each.
prefer gold? Each. Fair enough. There are 4 of you. So 800.
And yes, gold, not script.
You want something more real. I understand.
Gold spends better when one needs to grease a palm or two.
You know they're burning script in the streets right now.
Well,
That seems like a poor choice.
it's
They're making a lot of poor choices, gestures that are shot
Lot,
shoulder.
Well,
Wait, when?
so
Balaru,
when
his
did you get
younger
shot?
daughter.
I feel
Yeah.
like Spare or Oriana kind of like sort of like quickly tugs on the other two and it's like, so hey guys, I understand like I like gold as much as anybody else, but also we're in a place where
I would rather food than gold. I said
Yes.
food, steady supply of food,
Yes.
baseline.
yes. That's my concern, is that we're gonna be approaching the point where that much money is going to be
right.
the cost of food.
You're right.
Balaru says, you know, the cost of bread has exceeded the cost of bullets.
And
Let
they're
alone
wasting
medication.
bullets.
I wonder if that's of a concern to you, Father. And Vlad's like, ha! Commoners will get over it, I'm sure. We just buckle down and avoid dying of plague. This has happened before. We will get through it. Balaru says, have you looked outside? And Vlad says, no, my study, very comfortable.
So,
Anyway, so you want 800 gold and food? Yes?
yes.
Steady supply of.
All right. Well, we have iron rations. We give you iron rations for 5 days each,
Mm-hmm.
and we give you 200 gold piece each. You investigate Hive. If there's a problem, you take care of problem. Yes?
Yes.
Alright.
Believe me, if this goes on beyond 5 days, we may not need the food any longer.
Mm-hmm.
Vlana says, are you sure about this, Father? Do they seem trustworthy to you?
I'm the picture of trust, I'll have you know.
I
says-
literally got shot answering your summons.
They
I don't know
seem-
anyone more trustworthy.
They seem reliable and interested in coin and not starving. And Vlana says,
Professional
very well.
Professional is the word you're looking for.
Professional, Vlad says.
Exactly.
I like.
I have
You
never gone
Hellfire,
back
but
on
I
a
still like
contract.
you. You're one of good ones.
You.
What had you said, Allie? Sorry.
That I've never gone back on a contract, and that is the truth.
Blana raises one eyebrow. She's like, is it? I shall remember that. All right. Vlad gives you a starter of 100 gold pieces each.
Ooh.
And he gives you all that food. So it's 5 days of iron rations
Okay.
each. Isadora, who has just been watching this whole time, seems a little bit unsettled.
You're right.
Something feels strange to me. I'm not sure what it is.
That we're not gonna like what we find in there?
I shall do my best to help, however. Of course.
Well, this whole situation is unusual, to say the least. I imagine that would go a long way towards something not feeling right.
I don't
Yes.
know what you're talking about. The city is literally on fire. The dead are rising. Everything is in
cathedral's empty.
chaos. And we're about to go into a closed off building with a massive amount of people that have been trapped inside for who knows how long. I'm sure this seems perfectly normal and fine. All par for the course, really.
The Inquisitor is supposed to arrive tomorrow. This might be our best chance to find some information. So at that point, a messenger arrives, in livery of the Soldrov clan, and he brings over a message for Vlad. He reads it, and like his eyes narrow, and then he tosses it on the table. He says, "I shall be in my study. You have good luck now." And then he heads off.
Is it possible to see what the letter says?
Yeah. Valerie picks it up and she pales, and then kind of like hands it with a trembling hand to Ori, because Ori expressed interest. The letter says that catastrophe has befallen, and the infernal cathedral was stricken by plague, and everyone who sheltered inside is now dead.
Oh.
Hundreds of folk died overnight.
I feel like Ori pales that she goes from like red to like a pink.
Like a paler version of Anji's colors.
Yeah, like a dusty rose.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Valerie says, "Goddess, that's impossible. How?"
Are you all right, or you look positively pastel?
Everyone inside the cathedral died.
Oh, that's just now reaching here? Yeah,
knew.
they're gone. I literally ran through the streets. People are throwing Soldrov cocktails around and anything that moves and shooting people who use magic. So don't get caught with that.
We should probably get that seen to before we go anywhere.
Do you still have
Sander
any
is
of those
bleeding all over the
potions?
place.
This is really bad.
Or did we leave those all in the belfry?
The cathedral was also one of the safe places from the last plague. So if whatever protections are no longer in play, what does that even mean for the rest of the city?
Also, consider, we don't know the plague is what got them. We just know that's what people are saying.
I don't want to think about that. Also, it really makes me want to find a better hideout, but neither here nor there.
I
Anji,
just want to say, as you're having this conversation, Sounder, Isadora comes over and heals the wound on your shoulder.
That's what I was about to ask.
9 health.
The little round bullet pops out.
Look at
Oh,
that
good, it
sound.
stayed in one piece.
Keep that, and you might be able to buy half a loaf of bread.
What do we
That
want
I'll
to
be able to shoot someone with it.
do? Do we want to see if Anji and Durant made it out?
We're not gonna make it across town to them.
It is a risk. We'll find one of two things should we go there, I imagine. Either they'll be dead, or they'll have long since left because that place is no longer safe. Either way, it would be a wasted trip.
That's true. Anji is a survivor.
And really, she'd probably be able to much more easily make it across the city on her own. With Tarant perhaps less well. But regardless, she'd probably be able to make it across the city reasonably safely, given how resourceful we know her to be.
Eric, does my creepy
Your creepy eye.
yeah, does it has it been feeling extra weird since the cathedral got destroyed, or
Not really.
okay. Interesting.
Not entirely sure what that might mean.
I feel like, yeah, she sort of lightly runs her fingers over some of the scarring.
So
I don't even know how to begin to process any of this information.
So in the pause,
Mhm.
Vlana Soldrova, the heiress, speaks up, says, "Pardon me, I could not help but overhear. You are concerned for your friend, yes?
Yes.
I have sources of information. I could look into it while you take on this task."
Thank you. And
What's the catch?
Well, nothing. You consider it a favor. I shall perhaps ask a favor of you in the future.
you could find out for me if there were any survivors. While there was friction. They are still family.
I will.
Thank you.
Maybe I call in that favor now. Whatever you find in the hive, you will please keep to yourselves. Tell only myself or my father. Yes?
Yes. Very well.
Of course.
Very good. Very good.
Okay. Let's go. The sooner we go and get this done, the sooner it can hopefully be resolved and we can all move on and read.
Perfect.
Agreed.
Okay. So, are you going to do anything else before you take off?
Just gear up, basically.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
If there's any supplies or stuff we can grab or
Yeah,
whatever.
gear up. Make sure we eat breakfast.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Definitely.
Yep, you're staving off some of the hunger. I
Any
will
healing
say.
potions?
I will say that, Sounder, your hunger is reduced back to normal
Okay.
because you eat a bunch of food. Healing potions. You can have some healing potions instead of the gold coin that that was provided.
Mm-hmm.
Healing potions would be 50 gold coin each.
Sweet. I will take 2 healing potions then.
Okay.
Yeah, that's not a bad deal. I might do the same thing.
They
What
also
level
have
healing potion?
antitoxins if you want to purchase those. It's just a normal potion of healing.
Okay.
And just to make sure, let's pull out our handy dandy 2024 D&D Player's Handbook.
Whoa.
Whoa! It's not all that different. We'll still call it 5.5, but it is very similar. Okay. Antitoxin, 50 gold pieces. Antitoxin will give you advantage on saving throws to avoid or end the poison condition for 1 hour.
Nice.
So, whether that will do anything about plague, you don't know. The Soldrovs don't seem to, well, they do seem to be, they have some antibiotics on hand. So if you want to purchase antibiotics, you could do that as well. That costs the same. It's 50 gold pieces for either a red or blue or yellow antibiotic.
How many do we have any of those left from when we got them, or I forget?
I don't know. It'll be listed on your sheets, and I am not looking at them. You might. Any of those causes some damage to your system, but helps you with the plague.
Oh,
That's
God,
right.
God bless 2024 rules, because now drinking a potion's a bonus action.
I did
Baldur's
notice
Gate 3-1 is what I'm saying. Anyway.
while I don't appear to have any antibiotics left, I do note in my bag I have the hand and arm of a creepy corpse, apparently.
Yes,
yeah,
you
we
do.
can keep that.
I remember that.
Yeah.
It's moldering and has gone mostly black at this point.
Ugh. Oh, we can still study it. Oh, wait, actually, Ori takes it out of her bag and hands it over to Isadora and is like, here, maybe you can study this.
She looks at you like,
I thought we had locked that thing away.
it's juicy.
Why have you been
Yeah.
carrying that around?
She says, I can study this.
Yeah.
Would you like to? But I need some place to work, and if we're going to the Hive,
That's a good point.
are you gonna leave me behind? Don't leave me behind.
No, we're not leaving you behind.
You can fix holes in people. You're going with
All
us.
right, just like she pulls out a bunch of bandages and she wraps them around the arm, and she puts it in a sack, and then she
Why?
puts the sack in her bag.
Why would you waste bandages on that thing?
It's
I could have
important to.
given you some scrap cloth.
What's the difference?
The difference is a bandage is supposed to be clean.
Scrap cloths aren't clean. This is a rich girl question. This is one of those situations like, what do you mean?
No,
Sounder sits down
usually
for a
not.
moment.
Anyway, she says, I'll study this when we get a chance.
Fair enough. Let's depart. The sooner we see to this, the sooner we can hopefully figure out what's going on here and how to stop it.
All right. So, it's about 1 p.m. or so when you head out to the Hive. And you get out onto the streets. They are, much like I described to Sounder, just a mess. Post-apocalyptic wasteland. Certain parts of the city are worse than others. Where you came from, near the cathedral, real bad. And the like working districts, really bad. Near the manor, here on the western edge of the working districts, it's not so bad. You do hear gunshots, as in guards are stopping someone from approaching. And they're not very regular, so it's not like you just hear this cacophony of shots. They'll just come up and just bam every so often, and you jump every time because it's totally unexpected, but very loud, rings out all across the city. So Sounder is very familiar with this part of the city, and I think since all of you are Nightside natives, you know where the Hive is. I don't know if any of you have ever actually been in or near the Hive. Sounder probably has, because, I mean, Sounder does all kinds of shipping and carting sort of jobs.
The occasional under the table movement of goods.
So the Hive is essentially a huge, like, apartment complex sort of building. It looks a bit, it's circular, first of all. It looks a bit like
the Hive from Resident Evil, but above ground.
Yeah, kind of. I was gonna say it looks a bit like the Colosseum, except like all closed off, with narrow windows. And it's very tall. It's like 12 stories tall. And just people live on the outside of the building, like on the outside ring of rooms, largely communal rooms, although some people have like smaller family cells, and it seems more like a prison than a living place. I would like, if you want more information about it, you can make a history check or an insight check.
All right. My insight's slightly better, so I'm gonna make that. Ooh, that's a 20. Not a nat 20, but a 20.
And this was which?
Insight.
Insight. Okay. So
I got
the
a
Hive.
14 for history.
Okay.
And
So let me
I
tell you
got
the 14 on history
a
first.
crit for
Oh,
an insight.
okay.
A total of 25.
Sweet. All right, let me tell you the history first. The Hive has a sordid history as a workhouse where people who are very low of means and coin basically sell themselves into indentured servitude to the owners of the Hive, in this case, the Soldrov family, to do work there. And it's mostly food and goods processing. Like this is where clothes come out of. This is where a lot of the tinned food comes out of, which is kind of a new innovation here in Nightside. A lot of people don't really trust it, but it tends to be really, really cheap because it's plentiful. And so that's the iron rations that you have are basically tinned Soldrov food. Tinned being the English word for canned. Okay. English, like British English. All right. That's a rat hole we don't need to go down. So it is, this complex is kind of like a trying to become a monopoly on lifestyle of all sorts of product and stuff that you can purchase for your own house and stuff, and also a community for people to live there so that the workers never have to leave. They can just stay there, work, and produce these things. As you approach the Hive, this massive brutalist building that looks like more like a mountain than like something built by humans or humanoid people, with high, narrow windows. With your 14 history, you know that there have been a series of uprisings and riots at the Hive, which were generally quickly quashed by the owners. And it has a reputation for being very oppressive and difficult and to, escape. Once you're there, you tend to live there and work there all the time. With your insight check, you suspect that the windows being that narrow is so that people don't throw themselves to their death out the windows, because it's a terrible place to be. Okay. Oh, you're muted there, Lex.
Yeah, I realized that. I see that flashing button. I'm like, dang it. But in Sounder's case, the insight was less for the history of the place and more for, does it sound like anything is moving in there? Because it's supposed to be a processing and packaging place too.
There is a constant flow of wagons in and out of the Hive, and they have rigged up this. Normally there's a constant flow of wagons in and out of the Hive, and they have rigged up a system of chains which bring these bulbous bags of stuff into the Hive from distant places, from the fields outside the main city, and from the industrial district. They are like this constant sort of like it's kind of, what's the best description of this?
It's like a packaging plant.
Yeah, it's like a packaging plant that has
It's
conveyor
conveyor
belts that
belts
go
system that
all the
goes-
way across the city. And it's weird. It's a
Meat
strange,
factory.
yeah, kind of. It's a strange sort of setup that makes everything look a little bit surreal. And those chains are not moving, and there are just these big hanging sacks in the air. These big leather sacks that look a bit like, I don't know, sacks of meat. But some of them have like bloody. The bottoms of them are starting to get bloody and moist, and they smell horrific as you approach. And they are not moving.
Well, I'm already regretting this.
Sure enough, there are a number of nightside armored guards outside, and they wave you to a stop as soon as you approach. They're like, no one enters, no one leaves on orders of Soldrov clan.
We're here on the orders of the Soldrov clan.
Oh yeah? Prove it.
Is the gold that they gave us by any chance minted? Like with
yeah.
With
yeah.
that clan seal?
Sure. We'll say that. Yeah.
Holds up gold coin.
Okay. Oh, you have Soldrov gold. Okay. 500 gold coin you enter.
Now, what's going to happen if we go back to your employer and inform him that we came here under his orders and you turned us away?
Especially since we're here to, ensure and see to your welfare as people, since our understanding is you were all essentially locked in here.
Well, these are the guards.
Oh, okay.
You go back to my employer and you tell him you failed? Ah, yes, good luck with that. 500 gold you enter.
I've got a better idea. And I'll step forward. Lean in.
Uh-huh.
I'm sure we can do something else instead of parting with a few paltry coins. Something that will interest you quite a bit more, I'm sure.
Oh, yes? What is that? I have wife and daughters at home.
I'm sure you're very loyal.
They big, proper, childbearing hips, too. Not like you skinny elf girl. Isadora kind of like,
Well, then I guess we're going to have to do this the hard way, and I'll, knife at the throat.
Okay.
Which was the plan
ahead.
all along, but...
Go ahead and do an intimidation check, please.
Alright, intimidation.
Can I assist?
I would also like to assist, even though it mechanically will offer nothing.
Sure, you can assist, Ori. How are you assisting?
I have a +6 intimidation, so
Is it flames
yeah, flames
coming out of
and
the
my
sides
creepy
of your head and
yeah,
your hand?
flames
Yeah.
out of the sides of my face and my creepy magic eye.
Uh-huh. Okay. We'll give Sparrow advantage.
Alright. Rolling
Just
with
standing
advantage.
behind.
I mean, it's a 14. That's
Okay.
not awful.
Is that with advantage?
That's with advantage, yeah.
Oh, oof.
Because I rolled an 11 and an 8.
Gotcha. I see it now.
Ouch.
Okay. So that when you pulled out the knife, the guards raised their rifles and stuff. And the lead guard says, all right. You drive hard bargain, 200 gold.
I don't move an inch. And I'll
You
look.
boys eating this morning?
One of the guards looks a bit hungry at at Sounder. You have food?
I mean, I might be able to scrounge up a ration or two.
Why didn't you say so? Our rations have been terrible.
It's probably the same food you're getting. I mean, it's just holds up the, just one can of the goods.
All right, 5 cans of food. You go in.
5 whole cans. You think I'm made of money?
No, but you might be made of canned food. The guy with the knife at his throat is still like, but gold? And they're like, no, food. Food is what is important.
3 cans of food. And when we come back out, 3 more.
They look at each other. Okay, agreed.
The knife is just back wherever the hell it came from in the first place. It's just back there. She steps away.
Crazy elf woman. Crazy. All elves crazy.
Guess all dwarves are stupid. Like, what kind of...
sensitive.
Man, just... Oh, yeah. Give me money when there's no food.
All right, so you hand over 3 cans of food?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. There are 5 guards. They wait. Okay, so 2 of them open the gate, which are heavily padlocked and chained, right? Like there's a bar and there are chains and there are 3 padlocks, and they take a while to open them. The other 3 start working on those cans of food, eating hungrily with their fingers into the well, I mean the canned food looks a bit like cat food, really.
Probably is.
Yeah, and they're kind of like their grimy fingers, like. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, they open up the hive for you.
As we pass through the gate, Sparrow will just kind of glance back and go, "All elves may be crazy, but I assure you, I'm one of a kind." And then she'll flip away.
The guards look confused, like, "Huh? What?" And Isidore's like, "I got it. I'm glad that didn't come to blows. Those seem like just desperate men who didn't deserve to die."
So
They
few
seemed
rarely
like-
do.
They seemed like assholes.
Yes, well,
Looks a little flustered by that language, but yeah, she's like, okay.
oh,
How'd you get saddled with this job?
Me? I came here on my own to try and figure out the source of the plague before the Inquisitors come and, wreak havoc upon Nightside.
And I guess I'm just trying to wrap my head around what kind of a person makes a decision like that. That's pretty risky.
Make a
Someone
persuasion
with-
check.
Someone with the money to be able to afford a bad decision.
Yeah, no, that is a total of 3.
All right. She looks mildly offended, and she says, "A good person, I should think."
you'll find that to be a rare breed right here.
And I don't think I quite believe you're one of them.
Exactly. Those who are and you will find that the typical Nightside experience is that those who make gestures that are truly selfless are those who can afford to make selfless gestures.
Case in
Everybody
point,
else is just trying to survive.
the kind of people
Usually-
that waste perfectly good bandages on a dead arm.
All right. I think I understand.
Oftentimes, those here who make selfless gestures, seemingly, at the very least, often want something.
There are always hidden motives and intentions that to every offer, and it is wise, or at least it would behoove you to question everything that anyone tells you within this city.
including that.
You're starting to get it.
Exactly.
I tire of your scorn. Can we move forward and see if we can find the source of this plague?
Darling,
You know what the source is.
you have not yet earned my scorn. Believe me, you will know.
Let's not be overly harsh either. We can be friends.
No one's being hot.
I am being friendly.
This is what passes for friendly in Nightside.
No, this is
Very
rude.
well.
Yeah, notice
I'm
you
being
are
rude.
definitively neither on fire nor locked in a dungeon.
Very well.
Mhm.
I shall continue doing what I am doing so that you don't light me on fire or lock me in a dungeon.
And
All right.
Sparrow will kind of lean in. It takes time for Ori to warm up to people. Don't let her brusque demeanor fool you. Behind all of that fire and brimstone is a heart of gold.
So, you get into the entry hall of the Hive, which is empty. There are no people in here. It is filthy, too. Like, there are discarded scraps of clothes all over the place, dubious stains, which might be blood stains, might be worse, and it smells pretty bad. And you can hear cries echoing from deeper into the building.
Does this seem similar in any way to the sorts of cries that were happening in the Physicker's house?
Possibly. It does. It sounds like people in pain and suffering. And Sounder, you know from your time here at the Hive that this room is kind of the place of gathering. People come here looking for jobs to do in the Hive on that particular day. And there's a bulletin board where people just post up, particular things that need to be happening. And it's full of drawings and pictures of people who are listed as sick or missing.
Great.
And as you go deeper into the Hive, it feels like going into a insect's hive. Like, it becomes cramped, and the hallways are narrow and winding, and it is dark, and it is foul smelling. Like, this place, which was supposed to be clean and pure and untouched by plague, has clearly been decimated by plague.
Well,
And you hear the guards locking the door behind you.
Shit.
Don't worry about
Isadora
them.
says-
There are ways in and out.
Isadora says, yes, let us do what we came to do. Find the source and eliminate it.
Agreed. Though we certainly at least have confirmation now that this place wasn't as locked tight as they thought.
Okay. So you just want to investigate a little bit on it?
Yeah,
Just kind of move around randomly, or are you looking for something in particular?
well,
Yeah.
Sounder would know this place better than either of us. Sounds
So there's
like.
a central work yard where like outdoor tasks happen.
Oh, no.
there are basement levels, and there are like craft rooms all around on the upper levels as well.
Is there like a foreman's room, or basically where like the workers, managers or whatever would be?
Yeah, there is a foreman's room, which Sounder knows about, at the far end from where the entrance is.
Okay.
on the other side of the workyard, and it actually overlooks the workyard. There's a balcony. So you want to head that direction?
Yeah, maybe perhaps we can find someone who is in charge, who can, or at least close enough to what passes for in charge in here. Give us the situation.
Yeah. Once you go through the communal hall, you open up the doors that lead into the open work area in the center, and you see that it is full of corpses piled on top of each other, as well as people who are kind of shambling around amongst the piles. And
but they aren't people, right?
One of them looks over at you and has this like the most haunted pale face with like eyes that are mostly black, and says, you help, and then just kind of like falls down to one knee and collapses as they approach you.
Oh boy.
Oh, well,
Isadora heads over to that person.
Oh, well, we're going in, apparently.
Just let her. Let her.
Sparrow
If she gets infected, then the rest of us could get infected. And I just got over being infected, I think.
Well, maybe that means
starts
you're
casting healing spell.
Sparrow will...
More people are looking over at you.
Sparrow will draw her blade.
Mm-hmm.
And her sword and head over in Isadora's wake.
Okay.
Just to play guard for a second.
Yeah, people are watching the priestess healing, and the guard over the priestess with the sword. They're a little wary of the sword, but still, there are several people who come over and they're like, "Help, help!"
I'm gonna trigger the sword to shed light.
Mm-hmm.
Probably super dark in here.
It is pretty dark, yeah. I mean, this is the part that's open to the sky.
Okay.
So there is some light, but there's still like so much shadow in this area.
All right. So I'll trigger the light, the blade to shed light, and just kind of keep it at the ready.
Are you going to try and intimidate these people to stay away from them?
Yeah, I think I am.
Okay, make an intimidation check, please.
I'm not gonna be overly harsh about it, but I'm definitely gonna try to just be like.
But you're trying to affect their actions.
Stay back.
Mm-hmm. While they are distracted with all of that, I'm gonna cast Disguise Self to make myself look more like I have whatever it is that they all have, in the hopes that they won't touch me. Blending in.
Disguise yourself to look like a plague victim. Solid.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Sounder, are you taking any particular action?
I think Sounder actually went over, after Sparrow had, gone to play guard, kind of steps a little bit closer and asks Isadora, is that working?
All right. So she casts the healing spell, and she says, "Well, I think I've helped this poor person a little, but I can't cure the plague. Not with my magic, anyway." And more people are like, "Cure the plague, cure the plague," and they start swarming over toward you. It seems like that intimidation has not really worked.
Oh, great. Let me see. Let's.
So for clarification, the air is foul, it's dark and oppressive. Are there any areas that seem particularly like they've got a drone to them at all? Any buzzing or that sort of thing?
Make a perception check, please.
Can I also check?
Mm-hmm. Sparrow can't because she's in the midst of all of the mob.
Actually, can
That's
I do
just a 10.
an investigation?
Sure.
Because now that I look like a plague victim, I can sort of move about more freely.
Yeah, it's fine.
Dirty 20.
Okay. Yeah, you're looking around and trying to connect some dots to see what might have happened here. You do notice there should be a pretty clean circle of stone at the top of the open air area, but part of it is broken off, and you see some rubble down at the base, as though something struck that area.
Okay.
And part of the building up there is open to the air, as though something struck and maybe went inside.
Okay. Can we see?
There are
roughly...
also these kind of like reddish, like veins or roots, just kind of like reaching out from the stone up there. Which you've seen something similar to that on the Medicare's house.
Okay.
Yeah.
As they're closing in, can I use prestidigitation to make the shadows around me dance a little bit, just to see if
Sure.
like, kind of like, I'm doing the thing.
You're gonna try and make another intimidation check.
I am.
Make it with disadvantage this time.
Oh, okay. I will do that. Let's see.
Sounder, you're not aware of any particular buzzing or any sounds, but you also notice the kind of like dark roots creeping down the edge of the building, and you see basically what Ori figured out was there as well.
Yeah, disadvantage. It's only an 8.
Yeah, they don't seem to be backing down.
Okay, so at this point, Ori is going to basically climb up sort of like where she can stand on some of the rubble, like from a place of authority, and this time disguise herself as the profane mother and be like, attention unwashed masses.
Okay. Make a deception check, please.
All right.
So, yeah,
19.
and then okay.
If you do not move yourselves from the presence of my sworn servants, I will set this entire room on fire and cleanse and purify all of you. However, if you leave us alone and aid us in our in what we have come here to do, we promise deliverance.
Okay. It sounds like you're either attempting intimidation or persuasion. Either way is fine. Go ahead and make a check.
I have good rolls in both, but I feel like intimidation's probably better.
Okay.
Because like scary. Oh, I only rolled a 9.
That's okay. What's your modifier?
+6.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right. So the mob hesitates, and you hear this loud. You hear a loud report of a rifle somewhere above you, and Sounder, since you were kind of looking at where the roots were, you see that there are people up on the balcony of the foreman's rooms, and one of them is holding this rifle, was just fired off into the air. And the mob, startled by the appearance of the infernal mother and the rifle, has kind of backed off, and you see guards coming forward from where the stairs up to that area are, and they say, come with us, the overseer will see you now.
Come on,
Perfect.
minions, please.
And on that note, we will take our break for about 10 minutes. So if you have anything you want to say before we do that, now's the time.
Gonna douse the light of my sword, sheath it, and go, thank you.
Okay, don't go away. We'll be right back. And we're back. All right. The guards escort you up the rickety stairs. They're a metal staircase that leads up to a private set of rooms which are for the overseer of the hive. It doesn't look nearly as sophisticated and put together as one might expect from a ostensibly administrative position. It looks more like a kind of like a ritual shrine of some kind. There are like furry pelts piled up everywhere, and skulls with candles burning off of them, and a dais with a big chair. It's just kind of a normal chair with more piled up around it, including these two like horns that are sticking up from the side. It doesn't look like it was made that way. It's just like kind of a strange construction. And sitting upon this chair is a small child, a girl to be specific, and she is a dwarf. So a small, stout child. She's probably 8 years old or so. And she says, "Ah, there they are. Hello. Welcome to the hive. I am Rangda, overseer of the hive."
You're the overseer.
Well, my daddy was the overseer, but he's dead, so I'm the overseer now. Isn't that right? And everyone's like,
I wasn't aware that was an inherited position.
Can I do...
It is now.
Can we do, like, investigation or insight to figure out if, like, this is the case of adults playing along, or if they actually are like, oh yeah, no, this is how this
Yeah,
works.
make an insight check.
Okay. I got a 1. Not a nat 1.
Oh,
I rolled a 2. I have a -1.
You're just a little like, what?
Yeah.
I got an 18 on insight.
Yeah, no, they seem pretty serious about it.
Ori, as the profane mother, is just like, you are a child.
Oh, are you someone important? You look important.
Yes. Very. What is the current state of affairs here?
Well, we're locked in, and many of us are dead. So that's not fun.
How
No,
exactly?
I don't imagine it is.
How exactly did that come to pass?
Plague, probably.
Yes, but
Although some of it was just good old murder over supplies.
When did it start? Can you explain the hole in the ceiling?
A while ago. Scribe! One of the workers comes over, a very harried-looking man. How long? Well, when did the darkness fall from the heavens? And he says, 12 days ago, your majesty. And she says, 12 days ago.
I'm guessing
Which
that would be
rough-
around when...
Yeah, that roughly corresponds with the Doom Train disaster.
Yeah, Sparrow will grimace slightly.
People started getting sick immediately or a little after?
I don't know. I was playing with my dolls at the time.
Does
Scribe!
know?
And he goes, illness was reported very soon after the incident.
Thank you.
The incident, Rang says. The incident. Why are you here?
We were sent by the Soldrovs to
Everyone in the
ensure
room goes dead silent.
To
kill
ensure-
me? Rangda says, puffing up her
No,
chest.
no. No one's going to kill
That's
you.
good, because we would throw you off the balcony. I've done it before.
Huh.
The scribe nods.
All right. Well, we won't put you in that position, I assure you. We are more sent to check to see what the current state of things here was, and to see if the inhabitants of the hive were still alive.
Rangda says, well, I think you can see for yourself what's going on.
Yes, I think we can. More to the point, we are also here to seek the source of this infection.
You mean the darkness?
Yes,
Scribe
the
nods.
darkness.
Okay.
Tell me, did you see where it went?
Oh, yes. We secured it safely.
She'll kind of glance back the way they came, just like kind of toward the downstairs.
How did you secure it exactly?
In the
I can
vault.
see that.
Can you take us to it?
Sure, I can. But I won't.
Will you let us go there ourselves? We're going to make it stop doing all of that it's doing.
Sure. But I need something in return. Obviously. That's how business works. And all of
So-
the adults around are like,
People stop getting sick is not quite enough?
Do you like
No.
being trapped in here?
well, I'm not sick.
Yes, if you allow
For
us to do our
now.
work.
Look, what I want from you is real easy. You just bring me the cold-hearted bastard who locked us in here. Once you do that, I'll open the way to the vault. Doesn't that seem fun? The scribe's like,
So, small problem with that. We're locked in with you. So
Okay.
we can't bring him back here until after we leave.
how are you planning to get out?
By solving the problem and walking back out the front door.
How are they going to know if you solved the problem?
We present the evidence of destroying the thing.
What kind of evidence?
Imagine a corpse will do. Whatever.
Well, we got a lot of those.
Not that kind.
You can
dear.
have as many corpses as you want.
This is a very specific corpse.
Oh,
The one that was in the box that maybe crashed through the ceiling?
Well, that's going to be tricky then.
Why is it wandering around still?
Oh no, it's locked in the vault.
So we seem to be at an impasse.
You know what? It's fine. You can keep your vault. You can keep your weird little locked up corpse. How about we just go wait somewhere else and see what happens?
More people are going to die. Is that
Yeah,
what you want?
not my people.
Isidore is like, no, that's not what we... And then
It's
she
your people.
stops herself.
That
I'm
seems like
doing
something you don't want. Why do I care?
interesting.
Also,
You're
some-
like me.
so not for nothing, but you have a finite amount of supplies. You have people who are actively already dying. And that plague is only going to keep spreading the more time you spend in here. So us solving this
is only for your benefit, because that means that you healthy people can
Stay
leave.
there.
Make a persuasion check.
Okay. 18.
Yeah, that makes sense.
But I mean,
The
if you
important
want to
lady
just
makes
hang out
sense.
here,
Yeah. I mean, if you want to get to the point where you have no more supplies and you're just eating the corpses of your friends in order to maintain sustenance until you also run out of those, like, by all means.
Can we do that? She asked the scribe, who
I mean, if you
pales.
want to get sick.
I like,
I wouldn't
Yeah.
and
recommend
she's like,
it.
you're funny. I like you.
I'll add in this.
I
little
mean
nugget.
her. And she points at Sounder. All right, I'll tell you what. We'll make a different deal. I'll let you in the vault if she tells me a story. Points at Sounder.
Oh, Sounder's real good at stories.
Good. Make it a good story. She settles down in her throne.
Wait, sorry. I blanked. Did you say Sounder or Sparrow? I know I just...
Sounder.
Okay. And I'm sorry, Allie. I didn't realize you were...
Oh,
starting to
yeah,
talk.
sorry.
I think you're getting...
Yeah,
lagged
okay.
a little.
What were you going to say, Allie?
At moments past.
Okay.
Okay.
Put a hand up like this, and we'll make sure we don't talk over you. Okay.
I'm gonna tell
Well,
you a
I'm
story
waiting.
about this morning.
Good.
This morning I woke up, and every morning the bells are supposed to ring. Can you hear the bells in here?
Mm-hmm. When the
Well,
bell's
this
ringing.
morning, the bells didn't ring. Bells
Yeah.
didn't ring at all. So it was really, really bright out. As bright as it gets here. Before I woke up this morning. That's not good. I get up. I go to work. I work for a carriage company. So I work with a horse and a cart.
And a dragon?
No dragons, not usually.
Oh.
Although my boss, his breath can be as bad as one I hear, so... Sounds about insane. Now, he's not feeling too well. That's whatever, it's fine. He'll probably push through it. I go get Big Brad, he's my best horse. See, I got a letter from these Soldrovs. You gotta come here and talk to us. I don't want to talk to Soldrovs, but I gotta go do that. Otherwise, they come find me.
The Soldrovs are the bad people.
Yeah, but sometimes you gotta go talk to people you don't want them. I go out. There's a whole lot of shambling people in rags.
Like downstairs.
Worse than downstairs.
Oh.
These ones are zombies.
Zombies.
Yep. They're people eaters. They eat people. And I'm thinking, oh no, this is bad. But another group throws a big old bottle of fire at them. And I'm thinking, maybe I'm saved.
Fire comes in bottles?
Sometimes.
Describe, like...
You gotta make it a particular way. I'll tell you about it when we get back from the vault. The fire hits one of these things, distracts them. And I'm like, okay, we're about to fight these zombies. So I do a few tricks of my own, contribute to the fight. But apparently I did it wrong. One of these guys with the fire has a gun, so they shoot me. And so I leave. I make it to the Soldrovs. Their head is not very nice. He's just not very nice at all. He thinks you're all just fine in here. Not sick. He's not very smart.
No. No. Real bad, though.
Real bad. So he tells us, you go in here, you solve this problem. He tries to give us paper for it. We don't take the paper. Paper's no good.
The child's looking a little bit like disengaged from the story.
Then we come here. We find a lot of sick people. You want to know how this story ends?
Is there a dragon?
No, but there might be a really bad cloud of bugs.
Bugs are icky. I like dragons. Put a dragon in the story.
Well, I don't know. Vaults have dragons sometimes. I don't know what's in your vault.
She leans over. Is there a dragon in the vault? The scribe looks at you, looks at her, and goes, no. And she goes, oh, this is a boring story. I want a dragon. Can you make me a dragon?
I'm gonna see if I have a spell that can do that. Hang on.
Okay, so as the story's happening, yes, Ellie.
In fact, at that dragon thing, I actually do have a spell that can do that.
Because I don't.
I will. Sparrow will kind of step forward, press the digitation, create an illusionary dragon.
Aha!
Over her hand.
Ah! The little girl claps.
Really make it fly around and stuff.
Sounder shoots you with the most appreciative look in existence. Not that you necessarily can tell with the stupid plague mask on, but just know it's there.
Yeah. Tell me something. She'll say as the dragon's kind of swooping around. You like being in charge, correct?
I guess. It's a lot of work.
It can be. Absolutely. But think about this. If we're not able to get in there and help your people, there won't be anyone left that you can be in charge of.
Yeah. So I shouldn't let you in the vault then.
No, you should.
Because if you don't go in the vault, then I don't have to worry about all of these idiots anymore.
Just
So-
struck speechless.
Arrow.
You are negotiating with a
Yeah.
a child, remember.
Yeah. We yes. So child, we have told you a story. That was your payment, and now we would like to go to the vault. So that way, once again, you all won't die horrible, horrible deaths eating each other alive, or in agonizing agony from the plague that you will inevitably catch, as there are no medical supplies in here.
Okay. She looks at you for an uncomfortably long time, considering what you're saying. Okay, important lady. I'll let you into the vault.
Very good.
Let them into the vault.
Ori is definitely would have met the child's gaze with the gaze of the look that the profane mother would have given her as when she was a child, if she towed even slightly out of line.
Would you like to make an insight check, Ori?
Insight?
Yeah.
Oh no, I'm so bad at that.
Mm-hmm.
Thanks.
Okay. This child just seems alien to you. Just utterly out there and weird.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, that makes sense.
I mean, maybe she reinforces your desire not to have children ever. I don't
100%.
know. All right.
Yeah.
Yep. She says, okay, take them to the vault. Thanks for the story, lady with the teeth. I appreciate it.
You're welcome.
Okay, have a good day.
All
right. So several of the soldiers escort you out of the room and back down the stairs.
Once we're out of earshot, of the child. Sparrow will look at the others and go, "Really, she's on a power trip. I thought that would work.
Yeah.
Hard to rule over corpses."
And y'all are just going with this? I mean, how hard is it to throw a kid off a balcony?
Good Lord.
Isadora
They're
looks
not heavy.
scandalized. Like,
You don't even have to let her go. Just dangle her out there by her ankles.
If that child was within Hellfire, she would have been locked in a very small, very dark room for several weeks until sound stopped coming from that room. And then and only then would she be released under the premise that she understands humility.
There's something profoundly wrong with that child, Isadora says.
Amara is going to look at Oriana, just slowly rest a hand on her shoulder, just be like, "Ori, are you okay?"
I am many things.
That's a very diplomatic answer.
If you can call it that. What did they do to you?
There is a reason I wanted to leave.
I can see that. Not that I blame you.
If there's a bright side to any of this, there's nothing to go back to.
That does not fill me with the reassurance that I would have thought it would have once.
I bet you Dumont is fine. He's a crafty one.
Yeah.
The guy's scary.
Yeah. Not a lot scares
so you
me.
might still have your boss, but I don't know about the rest of them.
Yeah. We should get to the vault.
Yes, let's get to the vault.
Focus on that.
Yep. You head down. The soldiers take you into the basement. They unlock a chained kind of cellar door that basically leads down from the main open workspace. And it seems that the Hive has been pushing people who turn into zombies down into this space.
Oh, great.
And the soldiers aren't going to come with you.
Of course
they stand there and they're like, "There you are."
So, quick question, clarifying question. Sorry, Ali. But these soldiers are different than the ones outside, as far as like they're not
Soldrov soldiers.
Cool.
They seem to be just kind of like elevated workers from the Hive.
Okay,
like they're
cool.
big, brawny workers with
They're like
they have rifles. Yeah. All right. They're like, "Yeah, go ahead."
Well, at least you can console yourselves with the fact that your cowardice will let you live to see another day. And so swan off through the door.
Only I had the sense to do the same.
Founder dear, sense left this group a long time ago.
Wait, I got some sense. Hey, can I borrow one of those? Asking for a rifle.
Nope, it was mine. Soldier clutches it closer.
I'll bring it back.
No, you
even know how
won't.
to shoot, Sounder.
I'll figure it out. It's point and shoot.
You go down there, odds are you're not coming back.
Yeah, and odds left this group a long time ago too.
Your confidence in us is noted, though.
Maybe I'll find one down there.
All right. Well, let's get this over with.
Okay, you descend into the dark basement area.
Sword is out. Light is shed.
Yeah.
Isadora seems to appreciate that because she does not have dark vision.
Oh, right. Because she's human.
That's right.
Oh, fair.
Yeah. So she whispers an incantation and her amulet starts glowing brightly with a light spell. And she said, and okay, so the hive itself is bad enough, but the basement of the hive is like descending into the gullet of some long dead carnivorous creature. It smells horrible, like a midden filled with dead bodies, which is essentially what it is. You do see bodies littering all over the sides, the stairs, and the rooms and such. As you descend down these stairs, you see that the underground area is very similar to the above ground area. It's just dark, no windows because it's just the ground outside, right? And it is also circular, much like the space above is. As you're descending, Isadora turns to Sparrow and says, this might be a strange time to mention this, but I realized what it was that seemed strange about the dwarves.
Yeah.
When they were arguing, Vlana, the older sister, seemed to be on the father's side, that there was no reason to go to the hive. And yet she was the one who suggested how we might get in here. She seemed pleased that we were going. It just seemed strange to me.
She's playing a game of a sort. That's what it says to me.
What is your theory, Isadora?
I don't know. What sort of game might this be?
Well, she certainly positioned herself as her father's successor. But it seems she might have a more shrewd head on her shoulders than the old man. She plays to his line, and yet maneuvers behind the scenes to... I wonder... Could the sisters be playing each other, or playing their father in tandem? Given that the one sister agreed with her father when he was present, and yet seems to fall in line with her own sister's thinking.
All this deception and scheming is foreign to me, Isadora says. But if that's what you think is possible.
Can you clarify again what the situation is between the sisters and the father's thing? Because I didn't quite understand.
Okay, so Vlad is the patriarch, and he did not want anyone to go anywhere near the hive. He was like, the hive is clean and pure, and no one's been in or out of there since before the plague started.
Okay.
Valeru, the younger sister, definitely wanted someone to go to the hive and inspect it and see if they needed help there, because it's the responsible thing to do for, your thousands of workers who are here trapped. And Vlana, the middle sister, who is kind of the heiress, seemed to be on Vlad's side, that there was no reason to go there. But she seemed pleased that you were headed that way, that you took this job. So.
Well, the way I see it is that there's one of two possibilities. Assuming being the heir apparent, she obviously cannot publicly break from what her father desires without making the family look weak, and furthermore making her own position look weak. So if she does have one of these sympathetic hearts like her sister, or holds empathy with her sister's cause, then that would be the reasoning behind those emotions. But alternatively, if she sees us as some sort of possible threat to the family, in that her father is showing us favor, and that is counter to what she desires, then it is possible that she is pleased because either we return with word that of what is happening within the hive and, put this whole argument to rest between the family once and for all, and she wins, or we die horrible, horrible deaths and do not return, in which case potential rivals are removed and she wins.
Isadora says, "That's bleak."
That's just life, darling.
I'm surprised, given that even among the nobles of Dayside, maneuvering and backstabbing is fairly par for the course.
Yeah, don't they just do it with smiles on their faces and daggers behind their backs?
I am a priestess of Eris, the goddess of of light, of the sun and moon and stars. I preoccupy myself with religious matters, not with politics.
And your church is also the same one that cleanses and purifies, is it not?
Well, that's why I'm here, to prevent that from being necessary.
So why do you think it's not necessary? Doesn't your church decide things based on divine right?
Yes.
There's definitely some snideness to that.
But if I could convince...
There's nothing to convince if it's
if I could convince the Inquisitor that nothing need happen, then it would spare many people much suffering.
So
if we solve this plague ourselves, then there's no need for Mata to do whatever he is coming to do.
But here's the thing that I am worried about. Because when it comes to those who are of faith and are zealous about enforcing the letter of that faith, facts cease to actually matter, which is why politics become important. And as somebody who grew up within a faith of a sort, there, again, I don't think that, while I appreciate your desire, I don't wish to see you be disappointed. And I feel like Ori looks at Sparrow see, I'm trying very, very hard to be nice.
Well, thank you, Isadora says.
Can I make an insight check?
Sure.
Because I really don't know that Sounder buys this whole... I just don't... It's a 15.
So what are you trying to figure out specifically?
If she's naive or playing a game.
Yeah.
It seems more likely that she's naive. It seems like she maybe threw herself into this big thing, which was a little bit over her head. And she's doing her best to try and help as many people as she can. So she does seem pretty sincere in her desire to protect people from whatever is about to happen.
Sheltered priestess.
Yeah. Is it because she's guilty for, what she knows the church does? Maybe. But she doesn't seem to be trying to deceive you in some way. Okay. As I didn't want to interrupt the conversation. I mean, you are walking through zombie warrens having this conversation, which is fine, because the conversation is still a good conversation. I just assume you were kind of whispering about this, hissing back and forth in this very dramatic thing. Okay, so you're 6th level characters. You are able to slip past wandering zombies, particularly because Sparrow's there to help guide you, and Sparrow's very stealthy. Okay. Sparrow, also, as you're headed down, it seemed at first that you weren't sure exactly where you were going to find this vault. Like they just let you into the lower levels, but the more you went down the stairs, the more you feel something drawing you on, something dark and powerful, which can only be the source of whatever is causing this. Sounder, you do hear buzzing sounds. At several points, you have to stop and stay behind a corner while a cloud of buzzing insects moves past, as though it has a mind of its own, and it's looking for you, maybe. But you manage to avoid it. And eventually, you do find yourselves outside a massive door, which appears to be, well, for lack of a better term, a vault. And that feeling, Sparrow, that is like this tightness in your chest, the source of that feeling is behind this door.
Yeah, I definitely think that as the conversation went on and the deeper they got, the quieter Sparrow got. Which, like,
yep.
Y'all know Sparrow.
Very talkative.
Yeah. It's hard to get her to shut up. But she, at a certain point, quiet, intense, as she's leading down, and as she's standing in front of that vault door, she just looks. Stricken is a bad word for this. It's more she's
resigned, maybe?
Not even resigned. I think she's
focused.
Very, very focused, very intently focused on this, with this kind of creeping dread in her expression. Like there is something wrong.
Okay. Lori drops the disguise and kind of like gives like lightly brushes a hand against like Sparrow's with like her fingertips or whatever, just enough to give that little bit of touch reassurance, even.
And that does seem to, that does seem to snap her out of it slightly, but she's kind of glances over.
Yeah,
definitely in there. I can feel it.
Just want to note, Sounder, you're very observant. When Ori does that, Isadora like kind of stiffens a little bit and like looks away.
Sounder clacks her tusks together.
Anyway.
Well, we're in the right place. Why don't we see to it then?
Yeah.
So the vault has a big lock on it. And it appears to be locked. The child overseer didn't give you a key or anything.
What style of lock is it?
It's a pretty big, strong mechanical lock with tumblers and stuff. So you could pick it open with thieves' tools.
Loriana like smirks and looks at Sparrow and goes like, it's just another vault. You should be right at home. This is no different from, that time that there was that job on the east side.
Certainly. Just watch my back.
Always.
Like, no pithy response or anything. Just very matter of fact. Like,
yeah.
And she'll.
Lori's like already in position. Like it is very much that passive, like it's go time, protective GF mode.
So as she was looking away, Isadora is kind of like shining her amulet along the door, and there appears to be something written, like painted on the door. It says, "Do not open death inside.
Real quick, before Sparrow gets a chance, not gets a chance, but before Sparrow actually steps forward to the door, Sounder's gonna kind of put a hand on Sparrow's hand. Let me check this real quick. She's gonna cast Detect Magic.
Okay.
I mean, I don't want it to be magically trapped.
So there's a little bit of like low radiation magic all around you, right? Like, there's clearly some kind of magical effect in place in this area. But basically, every time you've cast Detect Magic inside a building recently, it's been like that.
Mm-hmm.
Particularly when you're near one of those plague clouds. The plague clouds themselves will radiate magic because they are clearly magical.
Okay.
Your various devices that you have radiate magic. The lock itself does not radiate magic, but there's something clearly inside the vault that is magical.
Okay.
Like you can feel it even through whatever that door is made of. Powerful.
Door's safe.
Here we go. Sparrow will kind of crouch down and begin working at the lock with the pick.
Brush her hair back behind her ear.
Mm-hmm.
Locks. Yeah. Okay. Make a check.
All right. I never like how the D&D Beyond sheets are always weird about tools. I've never figured out how to actually roll for a tool.
It's like they don't expect you to use a check on it.
I seem to think that you can click on it and then it like opens this other window that it's like, what ability do you use or something like that. I don't know.
It doesn't offer.
No. Wait. No.
I got it to work once. I don't.
Yeah. Like, I don't know. Criminy. Alright, well, I'm just gonna roll, because it's dex-based, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
And just tell me your result. I will take your word for it. D&D is built upon trust.
Well,
what you got?
So, 18. With my proficiency mod, it's 21.
21. Okay. Click. Clicks open.
There we go. Slips.
You have to turn the handle like it's like a porthole door in a submarine, right?
Yeah.
You turn the handle.
Grab it. Start to turn it to get the lock to open.
How strong is Sparrow?
She's got a 12. It's not bad. It's not.
Okay, that's sufficient.
Yeah.
I was like, if we're rocking like an 8 strength, you're like,
no, I dumped my
12 will
wisdom.
do it. No, okay, yeah, that's right.
She's reckless.
Right. I'm sure walking into this vault that says "Do not open death inside" is a very wise decision. All right, so you open it up, and you pull it open.
Be ready. And she's hauling the door open. I imagine it's making a racket.
Oh yeah, it's.
Screeching metal and scraping stone, you know.
Ori's definitely got hands at the ready.
Flames. I'm ready to go. All right. And Isadora shines her amulet in there. She pulls out her mace. I think she has a mace. Oh, yeah. And Sounder, you put on mage armor. Gotcha. Okay. And what's inside the vault is maybe anticlimactic. You see like a stone bench and a bunch of like pieces of wood splintered around, like there used to be a crate of some kind, but it broke apart and now there are splinters all over the place. Some mostly intact boards standing up like spikes on a fence. And within is this stone bench. And upon the bench is a long, almost so purple it is black crystal. And it is that crystal that is calling to Sparrow.
That's weird.
What magic does it, Badiac? As far as
start
like
pushing the door, like she's sort of like, nope.
Okay. You start pushing the door closed, and then a skeletal hand appears against the door, holding it open.
Smash it! Smash it!
As you watch, a body materializes against that hand. A tall, elongated, emaciated, skeletal body.
I'm gonna stab it with Audrey.
Does it look anything like that bug man that attacked me and Sparrow the first time we encountered one of these sites? In the sense of the shape of the elongated.
I mean, sort of vaguely. Yeah, but it's not the same sort of creature, you don't think.
Okay.
Let's see. So, its fingers are incredibly long and sharp, like claws, really. And the thing's face is also elongated, longer than what you'd expect a human or humanoid face to look like. And it peers down at you with this wide mouth full of teeth, long incisor teeth. All of its teeth are incisors. And it says, "Regina, thank you, sister."
No, wrong door. She'll just start trying to push again.
Stab! Stab! Stab!
All right, roll initiative, please.
Oh.
19.
Y'all thought you weren't gonna have a fight, didn't you? Okay, here we go.
13.
4.
4. Okay. Let's see. Oh, that's not bad. All right. Okay, Ori, you're gonna go first. You're sharp off the draw right there with your
yeah.
with your fire or whatever you end up doing. Go for it. What do you do?
God, my
You also
instinct-
hear howling sounds as undead creatures start approaching you from the darkness behind you. Drawn perhaps by the sound of the door creaking open.
Let's see.
Or else by the creature's manifestation.
Actually, I'm gonna Eldritch Blast it.
Okay.
Because I have the repelling blast. 23.
Yeah, that's gonna hit.
Okay, so that's the first one, and also it blasts them back 10 feet. And that does 8 damage.
Okay.
And I get a second blast because I'm level 6, and I get 2 at level 5. So let's do this again. I'm guessing a 10 would not hit, right?
10 does not hit it, no.
Okay, cool. But regardless, does that much damage and blasts it back 10 feet.
Okay. The claw was reaching for Sparrow's face. Sparrow was starting to hesitate as horrible memories were coming over Sparrow. And that blast knocks the thing back slightly out of range of
Or he's
clawing
just like,
her face off.
Get away from her, you witch!
Okay, cool.
Yeah, Sparrow looks like... I mean, she's already incredibly unnaturally pale, but somehow even paler now. Truly like horrified looking, like she's having very vivid trauma flashbacks at the moment. So yeah.
Okay.
Could that be like with the frightened effect?
I'm going to need everybody to make a wisdom saving throw, please. And Sparrow, you're going to make yours with disadvantage.
Great. So I'll roll a second time.
I mean, her wisdom is pretty bad.
18.
19.
4.
Oh no!
I traded you the 4. I'm sorry.
All right. Sparrow, you are terrified.
That sounds about right.
So you do have the frightened condition, and it's also worse than that. Sounder, what'd you get on your save?
19.
19. Okay, Sounder, you keep your cool. And what did Ori get?
18.
18. All right. You're still unsettled as you were before.
I thought I got over the fear effect because I passed it.
You've got us reversed. I was the one that was afraid, and
sorry, my stats are maybe off here. Okay, so Ori, you were over your fear effect. Sounder, you are still unsettled. You are all just now realizing that you're hungry as the battle starts.
What a great time for that.
Yeah. Okay. All right. So the creature is going to go. It is going to grab at Sparrow. Okay. So its first claw, it was grabbing at Sparrow when it got blasted back. So that claw just swipes past Sparrow. The blades narrowly missing her face. And its other claw is going to be a 18 AC. Does that hit Sparrow?
Let me double check. Gotta go back a bit. So it's looking up the frightened condition. Unfortunately, yes.
Okay. Second claw grabs onto Sparrow. Okay. Next up, Sparrow herself gets to act. So the thing has grabbed you and is going to pull you into the vault with it.
How is it grabbed her? Like arm, pop, like
its long claws have wrapped around your torso.
Oh, that's pretty long.
That long?
That's
that long, yeah. Its fingers are at least 24 inches long.
Okay.
And end in sharp, bony claws.
I don't like that.
Don't like that. No.
I would just like to take this opportunity to give a shout out to Erin M. Evans. This is a bone claw. Bone claws are one of her favorite undead monsters. Okay.
Fair.
I hate them,
well,
but I love them.
So she's going to try to... Let me see here. Well, she's got her sword. So she's going to try to stab it. Like she's frantic. She like, this is not how one normally sees Sparrow. Her composure is gone. She she screams and tries to stab this thing with her rapier. So I'm going to actually attempt to use Wrathful Smite.
Oh, okay.
That's new.
Yeah.
Yep.
Let's see here. So I have to hit with the weapon attack first. So I'm rolling at disadvantage. Let's see here. Disadvantage. roll. Come on. That's a 10, so probably not.
Yeah, that is not going to hit, unfortunately.
Yeah, she's just blindly like stabbing with her weapon, but it's just not making a purchase.
Mm-hmm. Not coming through.
Nope.
Okay. Next is going to be Isadora. So Isadora steps into the gap, to the space where the door is, and smashes her mace, which is glowing with golden energy, down into the thing's grasp. Cool. All right, she does hit. She does a certain amount of damage. There's a radiant blast, and its grasp breaks open, and Sparrow, you were abruptly freed from its grasp.
Okay.
And Isadora grabs, like, she kind of like wraps one very muscular arm around you and just kind of like bolts you out of the vault.
Just Sparrow, I'm just imagining her going like tumbling, or just at least skidding across the floor as she's thrown.
And Isadora is going to try and move herself as well out of there, but the thing is going to attack of opportunity on her because Bone Claws have significant reach, and that is what's going on. Okay, it slashes across her back, but doesn't manage to grab her. And she stumbles out of the vault next to you. The door is still halfway closed, so there's still like a 5-foot gap. As opposed, the door itself is 10 feet wide, but since it's halfway closed, there's like a 5-foot gap that you can get through. Okay, Isadora, she's now bleeding slightly because it's slashed across her back, but she was wearing fairly heavy armor, so she didn't perish. All right, Sounder, your turn. There are undead approaching you from the shadows around you, by the way.
About how much time do we have before they are upon us?
You think they will be attacking you probably not next round, but the round after. I will just remind you, there's the stone bench inside the vault. On the stone bench is that black crystal. That's about the length of my hand, which is to say about 7 or 8 inches.
And that is the
I have big hands. And then there is the bone claw creature that is in the vault with the crystal, like on the other side of the bench. As far as you can tell, the crystal is where all that magic is coming from.
And this bench is how far from the door?
The vault isn't really all that big. It's about 15 feet square or so. So we'll say the bench is maybe like just 5-6 feet from the door. It was pretty heavy. They didn't push it all the way into the vault.
And is this crystal inset or just laying on top of it?
It's just lying on top of it, as near as you can tell.
Cool. I am actually... Okay, so give me a moment to check something real quick.
Sure. While Sounder is checking, any other questions that I can answer about the situation? Or any other description that you would like to give of how your character is feeling or acting in this moment?
Are the zombies kind of clustered together?
Or is they're just coming from all directions.
So are we in like a large open cavern?
The room that you're in is about 40 feet square, and there are many corridors that enter it.
Okay, gotcha. That is unfortunate.
It is.
I would like to make a slight amendment. since I said Wrathful Smite earlier, I realized the 2024 version no longer does force damage and does necrotic damage. So
Oh.
I would like to amend that to Branding Smite.
Okay. Sure.
Because necrotic is not what I would use in this situation.
Do we and then does that have a visual effect so we can be like what?
It didn't actually land.
Okay.
But I think like she was starting to trace a with like her shaking hand, or with the blade you were tracing like a fiery sigil, and then the creature just grabbed you and squeezed, or
Okay.
But it would ordinarily create like a fiery brand on the thing that you hit.
Yes.
Okay.
Along
Got
with
your thing.
Extra radiant damage. So the blade would probably have started glowing, because it's concentration. So it lasts until I land the hit or my concentration is broken. So she would have done the sigil, and the blade would have like flared with light.
Oh, I was so excited about grabbing you, I didn't actually tell you that you took damage. You also took damage.
Okay, good to know.
You took 14 points of damage, slashing damage specifically.
Ow, okay.
I will need you to make a concentration check. Or no, because you would have taken the damage before you start casting the spell. All right.
14?
14.
Okay. I am
Did you
injured.
find your thing, Sounder?
Yes.
Excellent.
Remember that bullet?
I do, yes.
I would like to use catapult with it, and I'm casting that. But I'm not aiming at the creature, I am aiming at the shard.
At the crystal.
Yeah.
Interesting.
I'm
Okay.
gonna see if I can shatter it.
Sure. Does catapult require an attack roll or a saving throw?
It is. It says. It says if an object will strike a creature, it must make a dexterity saving throw. When an object strikes something else, the object and what it strikes take 3d8 bludgeoning. So it just does it.
Yeah, no. Unintended object that can't move does automatically fails dexterity saving throws. So yeah, okay. Go ahead and roll me some damage, please.
Cool. So let's cast that. And yeah. Damage time.
I like to think this is a little bit like you hold a bullet and then it like fires as though from a gun just out of your fingers.
She's kind of holding it like this and then does one of these, just kind of, and it does kind of make a sound as it flies through the air, but not quite the sharp rapport of a gun. That is 22 points of. Come on, clear that. Stop that. What kind of damage is that? Bludgeoning.
Bludgeoning damage. Okay. Well, yeah, you do shatter that crystal. That was a lot of damage. When the crystal shatters, Sparrow, you feel like this sharp stabbing into your chest, like pieces of the crystal broke off and stabbed into you.
He will cry out at that.
Sounder doesn't double take. What?
Yeah.
Maybe you're even, feeling at yourself to see if you were actually injured.
Yeah, clutching at her chest like.
Yeah. Isadora looks at you, concerned as well.
Yeah, same, obviously.
Okay. Anything else, Sounder?
Is that magic still in effect, even though the physical object is shattered?
That magic that you were sensing from the crystal seems to be dissipating.
Okay. And,
but there are still Zed and the bone creature, right?
Oh, the bone creature is definitely still there. Okay. And yeah, the Zed are around.
Okay.
The Zed.
Okay. Round 2, Ori. So you can hear them shuffling toward you, moaning. And their moaning sounds like help, help, help.
One last thing, sorry.
Yeah.
I'm gonna bonus action to parkour cast Firebolt.
Okay.
If you'll allow it.
At the bone claw?
Yeah.
Okay, go ahead. Roll an
Fire.
attack.
Fire dance.
Parkour.
No, that doesn't hit. That's an 8.
Okay. Yeah, it's hard to see that thing. Because the door's partly blocking it. So your bolt of flame impacts on the wall next to it in the vault. Lights up the vault briefly. You see the thing in it, all of its horror for like a second. Like a camera flash in a horror movie. Yeah.
Okay, that's it.
It just makes it worse. Anyway.
So
yeah, all right. Ori.
So where is Sparrow right now in relation to all of the threats and stuff?
Okay, she's outside the vault,
Mhm.
about 10 feet from the entrance to the vault.
Okay.
And Isadora is standing next to her, kind of warding her off with her body so that the creature isn't able to reach Sparrow. The creature is going to go right after you, though.
Yeah. All right. Because I'm wondering if I should grab some of the shards of the crystal to bring back as evidence. What do you guys think?
Out of character, I say yes. In character,
yeah.
Disorganized
this is,
shriek.
sorry. I wanted to clarify. This is an out of character question.
Yeah,
okay.
Yeah.
Then
because Ori's focused on fighting and shit, but
I do think we should have something to take back.
Yeah.
And I definitely want to examine and study these things because but Sparrow is
Okay, so where am I in relation to where the bone creature thing is?
You're about 20 feet from the entrance of the vault.
Oh, I thought it was right next to Sparrow when we were opening it, though.
Oh, if you want to be, then you're right next to Sparrow.
Well, I mean, she did get.
You're right.
Back.
You were interacting with her, and yeah.
Yeah, and then she got flung backwards, so that's why I'm kind of confused. Why,
okay, maybe you're just standing just to the side of the entrance.
Okay, cool. Then.
And you're looking at Sparrow, and she's looking at you, and she's having her sort of panic attack.
Yeah.
And you're standing right next to the entrance, like you could just turn right into the vault.
I kind of want to kill the thing instead. So I'm going to summon my flame blade.
Okay.
And I got Audrey. And I'm going to do some witchcraft. Let's make these bones into sashimi. 16 with Audrey.
Okay, let's hold on one second. Just double checking. Yeah, that does hit it. All right, so you step into the vault and attack the creature.
Yeah, because I'm also hoping I can distract it away from her, maybe, and kite it more in, I guess.
Okay.
So, Audrey does 5 piercing. And then does that also count as feeding it or no?
The bone claw has no blood for Audrey to drink.
Rip. Okay. And then flame blade. Little boy. The 17 to hit.
Yeah, no, that hits.
15 fire.
Awesome. Okay. All right. Audrey's magic seems to be biting deeply into the creature. The fire seems to damage it as well, normally. And it leers at you. Are you gonna do anything else, or is that it for your turn?
Let's see. Yeah, basically, to hit it, I would have tried to, like, again, circle around it, kind of, so, like, I'm more in the vault.
Yeah, you are in the vault.
Okay,
it is
cool.
up against the back wall of the vault.
Oh, okay, cool.
Where you blasted it.
Oh, okay. But I thought it had grabbed Sparrow.
Its
and then...
claws are very long.
Oh, okay. Now I'm following. Okay, cool.
Okay.
Awesome. Great. All right. Hopefully...
So you're now standing next to the crystal on the stone bench, which is clearly broken in two. Like it broke very cleanly in two pieces.
Is it possible to grab those and put them into a bag, or no?
Well, your hands are full.
That's true. Okay, cool.
You could drop one of those weapons.
I'm gonna wait.
Okay.
Good choice.
Thank you.
All right. So, the creature with this massively long head leers at you and says, she is precious to you, is she? She will betray you and break your heart. Let me rip that out for you. And then it is going to try and attack you, Ori.
Ew.
All right, so that's gonna be a lot. What is Ori's AC?
13.
I see. Well, that's like AC 23 that it hits, so I'm pretty sure that hits. Oof. It does 20 points of slashing damage to you. It projects its claws through your body. Woo! The spiky ends come out the other side of Ori, come out of Ori's back.
Yeah. So, like, I imagine, like, she's just, like, pierced and sort of does the anime thing of, like, coughing blood a little bit and, like, glares at the creature back, like, I've heard the same thing from better creatures than you. Still here.
And it raises up its other claw. Like, it pulls you toward itself. Mm-hmm. And then it raises up its other claw over your face.
Ugh.
Like, it seems like it's going to tear your heart out through your mouth.
Oh, cool.
What'd you say your AC was? 13?
Uh-huh.
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 I don't like this.
We'll just say the bone claw makes that sound. It goes, uh-huh. And then its claws start like reaching down into your mouth. Just all right. Okay. Mm-hmm. So, Sparrow.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, but no damage, or did it do damage?
Oh, it's playing with you.
Oh,
doing
okay.
a thing.
It's dragging this out.
Okay, cool.
For maximum terror.
I'm in danger.
Yeah.
All right. I have the frightened condition, so I can't actually go near this thing willingly unless I can somehow shake that off.
Well, Isidora's right there. She's a cleric.
This is true. That doesn't help me right this moment.
Well, she goes right after you. So what I'm saying is you could ask her to heal you to break the fear effect on you or something. Okay. Maybe very emotionally, because your lover is about to be eviscerated the wrong way by this bone claw.
Yeah. It's a shame that like drama wise, the shame that the panic of that can't override the fear.
Yeah.
Okay, you know what? Make a wisdom saving throw.
I'm historically so good at those.
Yeah, you are. Historically.
Historically. All right, let me just pull that back up here. Come on, come on. That's not good. Yeah, that's a 3.
Okay. Something dark and terrible inside you swells to the surface. You feel like your mind is stretching, like beyond the point of rationality. And you no longer have the frightened condition. You're still losing your mind from dread, but you are no longer frightened. Something has overridden it, like suicidal bravery, perhaps.
Fantastic.
This is what happens when you fail that saving throw.
Yeah. Well,
like you are now at stage 4 of fear level.
Great. So yeah, her sword is still like blazing with light, and she's going to scream and throw herself at the thing with the sword blazing. So come on, do not.
You still have the Searing Smite active, right?
Yes, I do, but I rolled a 12.
So, what does that hit?
What do you mean?
You rolled a 12, right?
Yes.
Okay.
No,
Is the result a 12?
Yeah, the result is a 12. I am rolling terribly.
Okay. Don't worry about it. The creature isn't really defending itself because it doesn't really perceive you as a threat. So if you would like to have advantage on this attack, I think that's reasonable.
Okay. It's an 18 this time. I'll take it.
That hits.
All right. So first, I'm using the rapier that. Well, it's the rapier I've always had, but it's the one that Lilith repaired. Mm-hmm. So I'll roll the base damage.
Oh, it's the rapier that Lilith repaired.
Yes.
Oh, so you didn't need to reroll, but it's fine. Go ahead.
I didn't?
No.
Okay. So, I dealt 11 damage with the base damage of the weapon.
Okay.
It does another. The blade by itself does another D8 radiant damage. That's 6. I'm gonna expend a charge and use that to heal myself for 6 damage.
Okay.
Because the radiant damage can do that. And then branding smite on top of it for another 8 radiant damage.
Cool. Do you still do sneak attack or?
I think so.
Because that would count. You could still do that. Because the creature is technically being threatened by your grappled friend.
If you're rolling like that way, then that should grant advantage for a rogue.
Yep. An extra 2d6 damage. Let's go. So another 5 damage on top of that.
Okay.
So
you did do 30 points of damage to it that you know of.
Yeah. So she screams, lunges in, and drives the blade into this thing, and it just explodes in radiant light.
Let me ask you this question: how much of your own life force are you going to burn to save Ori?
I mean, in her state of mind, like the quick knee-jerk answer is
Yes.
all of it.
All of it?
But
Great.
I don't want to die, so
Start rolling hit dice, please.
okay. Hit dice time. Let's see. I've got what? 6?
Yeah.
Are they all d8s?
I believe so. I have Rogue and Warlock.
Yep, those are all d8s. Roll 68 then.
Oh, jeez. That's another 22.
Okay. All right. The thing shrieks in pain. You have no hit dice remaining now, by the way.
I'm aware.
The thing shrieks in pain and drops Ori. And it staggers back against the far wall. And it says, "Pain, it has been so long. You are worthy, sister, worthy."
And she just has no words for this thing. She's not really fully there.
It gestures with its other hand that was gonna, cleave into Ori. And the broken parts of the crystal rise up off the table.
Oh no.
And project themselves into you. Okay, that's going to be 20 AC.
Yeah.
And 17 AC.
Also, yeah.
Okay. 4 points of damage. Another 4 points of damage. 8 points of damage total. As they stab into you like daggers.
Well, I like how it completely undid all of the damage I healed myself for.
Maybe it was a good thing that you did.
Yeah. But I kind of envisioning, like, as these shards hit her, they slam into her, and she goes flying backward.
Oh yeah, no, that definitely happens.
Off her feet.
Okay. You bounce off the wall of the vault and go kind of rolling kind of toward the entrance.
Ori would scream at that, like.
Okay. It's actually Isadora's turn next. She's already pulled one lady out of the vault. She can do it again. She comes in, she grabs Ori and pulls her backward. And kind of like
what do you do? Get in the vault so we can close the door.
Pushes Sparrow out of the vault as well. And all three of you just kind of like roll out onto the floor.
Well, we have the crystal, right?
Well, the crystal is stuck in Sparrow.
Okay.
Both of them are.
I wanted to make sure that it did not roll off in the hustle to get out of there.
And the creature, realizing now that it is alone in the vault and you were no longer there, rises up, its claws spreading, and goes, "Sounder, it is your turn." You could try and close the vault door if you want to.
Probably gonna go that route because I don't have anything left to launch at it. As far as
Yeah, close the door, seal it up.
Yeah. And that would be an action.
Uh-huh.
Cool.
It would also be an athletics check because it is a heavy door.
Cool. Awesome. I'm not well, I'm actually decent at that, so let's give it a shot. Why not?
All right, let's go.
Worst comes to worst, I can try another attempt at firebolt or whatever.
Make a check.
That is a 14 for the check.
Fortunately, that is sufficient to close the door. So you slam into it, put your whole body into it, and the door closes.
Trying to immediately lock
And
it.
the thing you can turn pretty easily because it was loosened, right? And it is shut. The vault is shut. Your spell, detecting magic, is no longer detecting magic from within the vault. That strong signature of magic is now coming from the shards embedded in Sparrow.
Oh, they're radiating again?
Yes, although the magic is lesser than it was. Like the spell has been disrupted in some way, but is still there. Okay, the zombies start emerging from the darkness all around you. As you are kind of clustered in this cuddle pile by the door, you hear booted footsteps coming down the stairs. Even as the zombies approach closer, reaching toward you, and you lie there panting and heaving and hoping that the creature is not coming through. That's fine. I'm going to let you do that in a second. You see figures in armor and bright whites and yellows and oranges coming down the stairs.
Oh.
Oh.
Okay. Or you want to throw a fireball?
Yeah, I want to fireball a hole for us to run through.
Well, you can fireball the people coming down the stairs if you want to. They're the ones that you'd want to get through. Or you could, the zombies are filling the chamber, so you could just fireball the chamber. But
because I thought we were being surrounded by zombies.
You are.
Okay. Yeah, so I basically wanted to fireball as many zombies in our way so we could run through up the stairs.
You're not asking how big the room is. You're just saying you got.
I did notice that you did not ask how big the room was.
You already said it was 40 feet.
All right, you sling. And what's the radius on a fireball again? Remind me.
It is. I believe it's 20.
20 foot radius, so fills a 40-foot room. Okay. So all of you make a dex save, please.
Me making a dex save while prone. Yeah, that's. How does that
I failed my own dex save. Yeah!
Ori, go ahead and roll me all that damage. I believe it's, 8d6 or something?
Yep.
Are you?
Yeah.
I just killed myself.
Remember that you have fire resistance, though, so you only took half damage.
Okay, cool.
Crit failed.
Cool.
And I got 13.
What's the DC of your saves, Ori?
15.
Uh-oh. How much damage do you do?
29.
29 fire damage.
Thanks,
Okay.
1 HP.
Okay. The room fills with flames and smoke and bullets and the cries of zombies being roasted and your friends being roasted, and that's where we're going to call it for tonight. Thank you all for this very explosive finale to this particular episode. Not to the campaign, don't worry. We're going to be back next week with more Greymantle. I have been Eric Scotsby, the GM of this campaign. This has been very fun. We have solved our problems in magic and violence. I author, writer, game designer, coach, streamer, find my stuff online, particularly on the Dungeons & Scrawlers Discord, which is a great place to hang out and chat about all of the shows that we do and all the cool content that's coming out recently and in the future, because who knows when this is going to broadcast, sometime in November 2024 probably. So see you then, and in the meantime, take it away, Allie.
Hi everybody, I am Alexander Pitchford, or Ali for short. I'm a writer, game designer, and TTRPG streamer. If y'all were doing math and knew what my starting hit points were, things aren't looking good. So I guess we'll see how I do with those death saves when we come back next week.
We have healing potions. It'll be fine. Hello, my name's Jen. I blew up the party. Because welcome to 40K. We cleanse and purify in this house. It's fine.
We didn't ask how big the room is.
Yeah, that's cool. Whatever. Anywho, SavageSparrow.com is my super awesome website for nerdy apparel and accessories. Definitely check it out to level up your look at the table. I am Savage Sparrow or some variation thereof on most social media. Also, patreon.com/SavageSparrow is where you can check out my artwork and all the things. I also have free content in there if you just want to give me a follow.